for Sheroes is a notch higher. Heroes are passé now. Now it's the time for Sheroes. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. And I think this is a platform where they are encouraging women to come forward and fulfill their dreams, their aspirations. And we at Best Deal TV feel the same way. As chairperson, I encourage the idea, the thought that women are equal, if not better than men, and they voice the same opinion with me. So we were more than happy to join hands. And when I got to hear of this summit, I think it's a really wonderful way to encourage women out there to come forward. And through our direct selling agent plan via Best Deal TV, where we are encouraging women to come forward and be entrepreneurs from home without actually having to commute or sell or even fulfill their selling, because we do all the back end work. They just have to make sure that they create an awareness and sell a product, and then all the rest of the stuff we at Best Deal TV do. So yeah, it's a really interesting initiative from them, and I was more than happy to be part of it.
किस तरह का रिस्पांस मिला है शिल्पा अभी तक लोगों से?
बहुत अच्छा रिस्पांस मिला. आज ही आई थिंक 20-25 लेडीज़ ने ज्वाइन किया है हमारे प्लान के साथ, और बेस्ट डील टीवी के वाया आई थिंक वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को हम लोग प्रोत्साहन दे रहे हैं, और शीरोज़ ने हम लोगों को बहुत इनकरेज किया है. So a big thank you to them as well.
There's also been very good news for one of your heroes, that is Salman Khan. He's been
I know.
of all charges. His family is very relieved. What would you have to say about it?
सब बहुत खुश हैं उनके फैंस वगैरह. आप क्या कहेंगे शिल्पा?
आपको कोई अलग जवाब मिलने वाला नहीं है. मैं भी बहुत खुश हूँ उनके लिए. And yeah, I feel really happy for Salman.
Okay, thank you.
Taking forward, and that's what we're going to use the next half an hour for. A very good evening to all you Sheroes. This indeed is a wonderful opportunity for me to connect with my species. So we kind of understand each other so much better. Gone are the days where I would encourage the conversation of, oh, we're living in a male-dominated society. It's wonderful to see and come across women who are go-getters, who really want to, fly, who are trying out different things. And I belong to that clan, or that set of women. So for me, I've always wanted to be, and as you very rightly said, that came from my upbringing. Those thoughts were inculcated by my mother. I come from, husband wants to believe I'm Punjabi since I'm married to him, but I told him very clearly, born a Shetty will die a Shetty. You can't become a Shetty, you have to be born one. But yeah, so we once are a matriarchal society, and for us, it is, it is more celebratory when a woman is born, or when a girl is born into the family. So, girls were actually ostracized if they got married outside the community, because they realized that that would be the end of their lineage. So they were not ostracized because they were upset because it's anyway such a small clan. What would happen to this community? Yeah. So we are like the Parsis from the south. Yeah. So we're kind of very. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, coming from that community and that thought process where she was the first Bunt woman to start working. Okay, this is way back 42 years ago, 45 years ago, and it was a big thing. She was the first Bunt woman to start modeling. Yes, so she modeled for Colgate and forehands, and she still didn't get sued. You know, whatever is compounded, and at that time there wasn't that much paper media and all of that, so it was in the theatres. And she was on the EVES weekly cover. I still remember, I've seen those paper cuttings. So she was of the belief that girls cannot be curved. There's nothing different that she did if she, I don't think she would do anything different if she had a boy. And I have to give credit even to my father. Coming from the Bunt community, you know, men can be very conservative, but he always encouraged both Shamita and me. He never made us believe that things were not achievable. Yes, only when it came to deadlines we became girls. But in terms of achievements, I don't think they ever curbed us from doing anything. So there was a time we were in, you know, we were in the midst of doing so many activities. I was doing basketball, volleyball, doing dancing, doing cookery classes, the work. So we'd come home and we'd be dead to the world. And saying that, I want you to know that both my parents were working at the time while we were growing up. They were like cats on a hot tin roof. We only saw them on Saturdays and Sundays. And we've turned out great. So I really believe that when you are working and you're bringing up your children, it's very important to make your child understand the value of work, to understand that there is hard work being put in, because then they grow up to value you for what you are doing for them. So I didn't have helicopter parenting, and I think I've grown up to be the kind of person I am because my parents let us be, let us grow, let us learn from our mistakes. And I have to credit both my parents for that. So my parents were really forward in the way they thought, what they believed. I was the first Bunt girl to join the film industry. So I remember walking into, and it was a very big thing. 22 years ago, it was a big thing. So I remember entering this Bunt wedding where most girls would go to find a husband. But I had just started shooting for Bazigar. The film wasn't released. And my parents very proudly walked in with me, and there were a lot of whispers that that weren't whispers anymore because I could actually hear them. And they were like, oh, she's joined the film industry, and oh, look at this, and oh, look at that, and how could her parents allow her, and whatever. But my parents, you know, were undeterred. And the same Bunt community, a few years later, felicitated me. So, I don't regret any of my decisions, but without the encouragement of my parents and those values that they, you know, kind of pieced and put into our heads, we've kind of grown up to value what we have, what we want to become, and we have work ethics. So that, I think I've covered everything. I can leave.
It's just about getting started. Yeah, so I think what I hear is a lot of tradition of hard work. Yeah, almost be your own boss, I think. I have a personal confession to make. I am very ignorant about Bollywood. I don't watch movies. I don't have a TV.
I don't blame you.
But I
One. Yeah, it's a national bestseller.
Yeah.
I'm very happy. Thank you.
So
please buy it. Book sales are always good.
Yeah. So let me sort of quickly put the reinventions on the table. You run a spa, right?
17.
17 of them. My mom calls me now every morning since she's learned about this thing that, hey, please watch Tata Sky 7:30. Shilpa Shetty is teaching yoga. Right? So that you've got a book, and of course you've got a whole family to take care of, and that goes in your Twitter bio, I noticed. And there's the whole Bollywood which is going to mob you wherever you go. And now there is this whole